Hello everyone, welcome back to lesson 7. Now, in this course, we've been talking about how to launch your bestseller. Now, by now, if you followed the homework, I hope you followed the homework, you should know exactly who the proto-persona is for your book, what your target market is, where they hang out, and you should have started interacting with those people on groups and online forums. You should have a document with a blurb for your book, ideally formatted in HTML, ready to put into Amazon. You should know the exact categories and keywords you're going to use as a metadata for your book and how you're going to leverage them at launch. You should have a separate segment of your mailing list dedicated for your street team with at least 30 people in it, ready to receive an ARC and leave a review when your book is already on pre-order. You should have a giveaway ready to be started in order to get readers, subscribers into your mailing list in the month or 2 months leading to your launch. And finally, you should have a proper plan for your price promotions at launch. If you have several books out there, how you're going to layer those price promotions. If it's only your first book, what you're going to discount your price to and where you're going to advertise that price promotion. Now, all these things that you've done as part of your homework, they should allow you, if your product is good, if your book is good, and your cover is good, to get to the number one spot of one of the categories you picked and become de facto an Amazon bestseller, which is the goal of this course. But it shouldn't be your goal as a writer, as an author. Your goal as an author, I imagine, is to make a living out of this. And the harsh reality is you're going to need several books to do that. So in this last lesson, we're going to go beyond the status of, yay, I'm an Amazon bestseller with my book, and into how can I build a sustainable writing career. Now, what you need to figure out for that is how many books you can put out every year. What you need to take into account is that depending on your genre, you might need to be more or less prolific. If you're a romance author, if you want to compete against all the romance authors out there, you're probably going to need to put out at least 4 books every year. That's how the market is for romance right now. You need to write very, very fast and push a lot of books out. If you're writing a memoir, you're probably not going to write 2-3 memoirs every year, even if your life is super interesting. You might have to branch into other genres. If you write into nonfiction, business, 1 book a year, 1 book every 2 years should be enough. And also in nonfiction, it's very important to update your existing books and kind of relaunch them. So in this course, you've built a marketing plan for a release. Now, what you need to do on your own, once you figured out how many books you're going to publish every year, is to make a marketing plan for your career and a separate marketing plan for each of these launches. As time goes, as you advance in your writing career, as you put more books out, your mailing list is going to grow. You'll have learned a lot of things regarding marketing, where it's cheaper to advertise, what kind of keywords work best with your audience, new places your audience hangs out. So you're going to become better at this, and you're going to enjoy this more because you'll have more readers reacting to your books and interacting with you. And that's one of the big parts and the nicest parts of marketing. It's interacting with your readers. Now, talking about your long-term writing career, there's one thing that you absolutely need to focus on. For each launch, we basically said that it's your Amazon rankings and getting to number 1 in your category. For your writing career, it's your mailing list. The mailing list is the one thing you control. It doesn't belong to Amazon. It doesn't belong to Facebook. It doesn't belong to anyone else. It belongs to you. These are readers you have in your mailing list. You control. You know when you email them, what you email them, what you tell them. And because you control that, it's the one thing you need to work on. Now, the good thing is you can reuse almost all the tactics we mentioned in this course, launch after launch, to keep building your mailing list. Using magnets, advertising the magnets through Facebook ads, Instagram ads, running group giveaways on InstaFreebie and BookFunnel, running giveaways using Rafflecopter or KingSumo. All these tactics work pretty much any time to keep building your mailing list. And obviously, having a mailing list in itself is not that useful. What you need is to keep interacting with that mailing list. And that's a question I get a lot from authors is, what should I tell my readers? Because probably you're only putting out 1 book, 2 books a year at best. Or even if you're putting out 4 books a year, you need to interact with the mailing list probably once a week, once every 2 weeks, at the least once a month. So what do you tell your subscribers when you don't have a new release? Now, there are a lot of things you can do. If you have a blog, you can let them know about your blog posts. If you're discounting one of your books, you can let them know about the discount. Not everyone in your mailing list will have both or your books. And more importantly, you can cross-promote with other authors. You're probably going to make friends with other authors during your writing career. So if they're having a new launch, if they're running a discount on one of their books, advertise it to your newsletter. Let your readers know. If it's an author in the same genre, and if it's an author you can vouch for, then your readers are going to be interested. It's like direct recommendation, and your author friend's going to get a lot out of it. And obviously, in return, when you have a launch or when you have a discount to announce, they'll probably help you by spreading the word to their newsletter. So make friends with other authors and cross-promote through newsletters. And finally, as your mailing list grows, you're going to soon figure out that you have to segment it. If you're running giveaways on KingSumo and Rafflecopter, you're going to get a certain type of subscriber. These are going to be subscribers who enjoy free stuff and are used to getting free stuff. So if they sign up to your newsletter and like 1 week after that, you tell them to buy your box set for $14.99, they're going to be bye-bye, I unsubscribe. And that's what happens very often to authors who don't segment their mailing lists, because they've put together a box set and they hit their whole mailing list with, here's a box set with all my books, $14.99, go buy it. Some of these in the mailing list are going to be readers who've bought previous books or are engaged with the author, who are like basically fans of that author. They're going to go buy the box set, even buy it in paperback, hardback, whatever. Some of these other subscribers, they will have subscribed through free magnets or giveaways, and as I said, they won't be interested in something that costs 15 bucks. So that's where segmentation comes in. Depending on where you get readers from, if it's magnets, if it's giveaways, if it's Facebook ads, you should segment your mailing list. Say, have a segment of your mailing list that's like Facebook ad subscribers, another one that's group giveaways, another one that's like, have read one of my previous books. If you have several series, you have to segment by series as well. People who sign up to your newsletter after reading a book in that series, or that series, or that series, and you create segments. And you email those segments based on when you have news for them. To your group giveaway subscribers, don't tell them about your expensive box set. Tell them when you run free promotions and you want free downloads to boost your rankings. To your Facebook ad subscribers, tell them when you have discounts, because generally they'll be a bit more qualified as subscribers than the group giveaways, but not necessarily going to be ready to buy your box set. But to your really big fans who signed up after reading a book in the series, well, let them know when the next release in the series is. Or when you run a price promotion on a book in another series. The more segmentation you do, the more effective your email marketing is going to be. And we have a great course I'm going to show you right now how to sign up for on Reedsy Learning on mailing lists. Now, I won't lie to you. As you'll have probably figured out through this course, making money as a full-time indie author is no easy thing. You need to do a lot of things. You need to plan each release carefully. You need to have a plan year after year of how many books you're going to put out, how you're going to market them. It's tough because on the side, you also have to keep writing. So one thing that's been happening to a lot of even author friends of mine lately is that they've just been burning out. You just get to a stage where you have too many things to do. You have to write, publish, market, and the market is becoming more and more competitive. So what do you do to avoid burning out? Well, you outsource. You learn how to outsource. When you get to that stage where you have several series out, several books out, you have to layer price promotions almost every month. You get at the stage where it makes sense for you to hire someone to help you with that. Not only to help you manage these things, that would be a virtual assistant, basically, but to help you get better at it. If you feel like you're sending too many emails, your list is not segmented well enough, or that you've hit a bump in your Facebook ads or Amazon ads, like costs are going up, you don't know why, or if you feel you're just burning out, think about hiring a proper book marketer. There are not a lot of them around, but we have several really, really good ones at Reedsy. So I'm going to show you right now how you can search for a book marketer on Reedsy who can help you scale your efforts, automate your efforts, and at the same time, unload a lot of the marketing burden.
So to get this free course on how to build and segment a mailing list, just go to Reedsy Learning. So you do a Google search, Reedsy Learning, click on the first result, and you're going to go to a marketing section here. The mailing list is going to show up not necessarily in like second position, but it's going to show up in here, and it's called How to Set Up and Grow Your Author Mailing List. So you click on it, and it covers a lot of things. It covers some of the basics, like mailing list providers, reader magnets. It's going to be a recap of a lot of things I mentioned in this video course around the mailing list. But it's also going to show you a couple of lessons how to segment your mailing list in order to sell your book. And it's going to have step-by-step instructions with screenshots for MailChimp. So head to this page, then click on Start This Course, and then enter your email address, and you'll sign up to the course automatically, and you'll get 1 email a day for 10 days with kind of the instructions. So the first step for you, if you're not a Reedsy member already, is to head to Reedsy.com and sign up as an author. So it's fairly simple, Reedsy.com, enter your email address in here, click on Get Started, and you'll have access for free to our marketplace of editors, designers, publicists, and marketers. I already have an account, so I'm just gonna log in. And here's what our interface looks like. So as I said, we've got editors, designers, publicists, ghostwriters, website designers, and what we're talking about now, marketers. So I'm going to click on marketing, and I'm going to look for someone to take care of my marketing strategy for me. So all the things that we went through in this course, if you want someone not to do them for you, but to coach you through them, you can find someone to help you with your marketing strategy on Facebook. So you select marketing strategy, and as you can see, there are 10 people. Now, these 10 people are professional book marketers. So they don't like create courses on the side like we do. They just help people one-on-one. So you can browse them by genre. Let's say you've written this awesome self-help book. You can say, okay, self-help. And then you're going to find these 3 people who can help you. You can view their profiles. So let's say you want to learn more about Johnny here. Click on View Full Profile. You can read a little bit about what he does, kind of services genres he works in, services he offers, and then his work experience, and then all the books he's worked on. So he's working mostly on romance, but now he's focusing on nonfiction. So if you're interested in reaching out to him, you just select him, and you can select up to 5 marketers to reach out to. So I'm going to select those 3, then I'm going to click on Continue. And here I just submit a little brief to the marketer. So I'm going to say, okay, my title is Awesome Self-Help Book. I'm going to say, okay, I want to hear back from them by this Friday. And my book's not published yet. I'm thinking about publishing it in May. So it's an estimate. And I want someone to help me prepare the launch for this book and probably do some advertising around and also build an email newsletter. So where would I like to advertise? Well, I've learned through our video course that Facebook ads are good. So I want to advertise on Facebook. I've learned that price promotion sites are good as well. So I'm going to select those as well. My genre is self-help. And then I can write a little bit about my book talk about my target market, and this is super important. What we talked in lesson 1, identifying who your market is, write who your product persona is in there. It will show the marketers you're reaching out to that you know what you're talking about. You've identified your audience. You've done the bulk of the work. So this will make them want to work with you. And then you can upload your manuscript. It's optional, but it will give them a sense of your writing, which is going to be very important. So you complete all these fields, you submit the brief, and then you'll hear back from them within 24 to 48 hours. So I'm going to cancel this brief. But that's it. That's how you can find a really good marketer to assist you through a launch, to assist you through a career. Here we used an example of like marketing strategy, but if you're running ads and you want them to just like take care of your ads, select advertising, and you'll find people who just like focus on running advertising campaigns for authors. So Joseph, for example, is really good for that for nonfiction. He focuses on Amazon ads. Johnny is amazing. He does Facebook, Amazon, BookBub CPM, all types of ads. Take into account that these people, if you want them to manage your advertising campaigns for you, they're not going to be cheap. They might cost you $2,000, $3,000, up to $5,000 or $10,000 a month, depending on how much work it is for them. But for a lot lower budget, they can teach you how to set up the ads and run them yourself. So they can come in at pretty much any step in your marketing journey and in your author career. But it's very important that you reach out to them with a very clear idea of who your target market is and how your book is going to make sense for that target market.